I'm standing here with Orzo, one of the many extremely cute goats at Prairie Fruits Farm, which is the first farmstead creamery in Illinois. We're going to get behind the scenes with Leslie and Wes and find out how they launched this agritourism destination. First off, tell me how the farm came to be.
Well, we moved here in 2003 from Madison, Wisconsin. I grew up on a little fruit farm, but we also had animals. I milked a cow when I was a kid, and we had some goats. So I really wanted to eat a dead ripe peach off a tree, and I hadn't really been able to do that since I left my home farm. And buying supermarket peaches was just no substitute.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
We planted about 2 acres of fruit trees and berries, and got started with that in 2004.
So what brought on the goats?
Leslie brought on the goats by and large because we met a couple of really great goat cheese makers up in Wisconsin at the Dane County Farmers Market. And Leslie said, we've got a few acres, we've got a barn, why don't we try goats? So we got 3 does and a buck in 2004, and that gave us milk starting on Thanksgiving. So Leslie made cheese with it, experimented with it. We tried it out on friends and acquaintances and people who know cheese, and they said it's good. So we started in January, February of 2005 and became the first farmstead creamery in Illinois.
We make about 9 different kinds of cheese, all from goat's milk. So we are exclusively farmstead. We're very small scale. The fact that we're seasonal and we embrace the seasonality of the milk. We don't try to manipulate the milk to get uniformity. We just kind of go with what the milk gives us. It makes for more interesting cheeses. And having that very direct connection between animal and finished product is always ever present in everything that we do. I find that to be the most satisfying aspect of our farm.
So tell me what breeds of goats you have.
We have a earless breed, the La Manchas. They were developed in California and Oregon. We got them because they produce the highest butterfat and protein on average of the goat breeds, and when you make cheese, you're interested in solids. They look a little funny to many people, a little hard to get used to sometimes, but they're great animals. They're very smart. They're not as noisy as our other breed, which is a Nubian, the long-eared breed.
That's this one right here.
That's that one, just for demonstration purposes.
If you've never met a goat, come to a place like Prairie Fruits Farm and see just how incredibly sweet and interactive these animals are.
Yeah.
When did you start doing the dinners?
Well, we started the dinners in 2008, and really the basis for that was we met a lot of other farmers, small farmers in Illinois, and we knew there was great products being generated by those farmers. So we felt like we should highlight those in some way. And it seemed like the best way to do that would be to actually have people come see how the food's produced and have their minds open about what the issues are with food production, but also taste really, really good food and meet other people.
The idea behind the 100-yard dinner came about fairly early on in the evolution of our farm-to-table meals. We said, okay, the ultimate challenge would be to create a very diverse 5-course meal from ingredients grown or raised within, and we just sort of randomly selected 100 yards of where the guests are going to be eating, and that was the challenge. And every year we've done different things to meet the challenge. Our partnership with Christine and Josh, the founders of originally Sunday Dinner Club and then Honey Butter Fried Chicken, was based on a long-standing relationship with them as purchasers of our cheese. And they started coming here very early on in the life of our dinners on the farm, and we've had them every year.
Wes and Leslie kind of created this really neat series of inviting chefs down here to the farm. We were very honored to come down here. And there's nothing better than their cheese and the stuff that they grow here on the farm. Today we're doing brunch pizza, just incredibly delicious. So we made a really long, slow fermented dough that has great flavor. We're going to make a flatbread with some goat sausage that we made ourselves, a little bit of roasted tomato sauce with tomatoes from the farm, and then one of Leslie's beautiful cheeses that will be put on top of that. We're also going to do a chicken confit hash. We're trying to do everything and as much as possible as we can from within 100 yards of the dinner table. To really see it and really connect with the farmers and with the food is just a meditative and important experience for people to have. I know it has been for me.
You don't necessarily need to call yourself a farm-to-table restaurant. You need to just have that be your way of doing business. And I think the culinary schools have a role to play because they teach it more like, this is hip and cool right now, this is what you should do, have a relationship with a farmer. But from the farmer's standpoint, we don't want the hip and cool, we want to keep going, and we want to have a robust farm business, and we want to have these long-standing relationships with these chefs. So I think if it becomes what they would consider to be normal food procurement, then I see that as ultimately the way to sustain farms like ours.